Welcome everybody once again. Josh the Mosh in the pit. And like we usually do, let's just start jumping right into it. What's up, my brother?
How's it going, guys? Welcome to the pit.
We're in it again. We don't have anybody watching yet, though.
Thursday comes quick. I feel like it was just last week.
Right? We had our nice visit with Mr. Bartek. It was pretty great.
That was a great set. If you haven't watched that one, I would highly recommend it.
I agree. Quite odd we don't have any viewers. Usually there's like 15 or 20 right away. Like right off the bat, but I guess we'll chat a little bit. We got a pretty cool show. We got two segments. We got a lucha segment. We got the Woman of the Week, B Ninja in the house as always with his Woman of the Week. And we have El Intocable himself, Gino, Medina, MLW talent.
I'm excited.
Join us in the Yeah, me too, man. He's such a great guy.
It'd be a good show.
Yeah, it'd be nice if someone would tune in. It's quite odd that we have nobody in.
It is interesting.
I guess we can just roll with it.
Yeah, we'll pick somebody up along the way.
All right. Well, then let's get right into it. Here's B Ninja, looking alert, little drowsy. Got a Sue Young shirt on for Paul's ass.
I wish I had the purge on my hand so that way I could choke his ass. But anyway, nah, just repping the homie. So, but yeah, how you guys doing?
Doing well,
right, man.
Alrighty, so guys, mind the voice. I just woke up from a nap, so bear with me. But anyway, that's not important. But what is important is being Ninja's Woman of the Week for July 23rd. And there have been a lot of interesting moments in the week of women's wrestling in regards of the debut of Ivelisse and Diamante on Dynamite, the introduction to the women's tag tournament that they're about to start having, Kyrie's departure from WWE through the set of tapings, but Kyrie was last week's Woman of the Week, and that incredible match between Sasha Banks and Asuka from Extreme Rules, despite the atrocious end, and WWE stopped getting them in the way. But my Woman of the Week for the 23rd, I'm gonna give it to the Virtuosa, aka the new Impact Knockouts women's champion Deonna Purrazzo. The reason why I picked her is because this woman has overcame a lot of obstacles. I mean, she literally started in Impact back in 2014 in the Knockouts knockdown pay-per-view, losing to Brooke Adams, or Tessmarker, excuse me. And by that match, she was only 8 matches in at the time. So Deonna was a baby, and despite learning from that, she got to travel the world, got to compete in promotions with Ring of Honor, and basically she was the focal point of that women's division as far as being a technical practitioner, coming from the Team Adams camp alongside Karen Q and Tasha Steelz, and really made the Women of Honor division a top-notch and must-see, because you want to talk about someone that focuses on one particular body part and definitely tells the story and finds thousands of ways to catch yourself into that Fujiwara armbar and basically just damage that arm to the point where even I myself get tingled every time Deonna puts any arm submissions on me. Definitely solidifies how much of a genius she is when it comes to her technical prowess. So the fact that she basically made the incorrect decision, because around the time she got signed by WWE, she could have been an All In and potentially an All Elite wrestling. And Deanna is something that AEW could definitely need. But she wanted her dream job with WWE, and prior to getting the sign, she was basically enhancements. Reference once as Jane Ellsworth by Alexa Bliss, and constant appearances in NXT before finally being officially signed and competing in the second Mae Classic, where she got into the likes of Priscilla Kelly, Xia Li, and eventually lose to Io Shirai. And then later on, basically all more of the same when WWE decided to not give talent the opportunity to basically tell the story of what a submission technician is. Because let's be real, Vince McMahon ain't about that wrestling life. So, yeah, after years of frustrations, and despite having good matches with the likes of Bianca Belair and others throughout NXT, she just felt like her talents were being wasted because creative thinks she's not TV ready. Which is why she decided that she wanted to peace out and got her release earlier this year. And right decision, because she showed up to Impact Wrestling, snatched Jordan Grace's arm, snatched the title match, and most importantly, snatched the Impact Knockouts title this past Saturday at Slammiversary, becoming the new Knockouts champion in a clinic that she and Jordan performed. As mentioned earlier, you want to find a woman that can definitely find ways to trap your arm and basically torture it. And with Jordan's big freaking turkey leg arms that she'd be rocking lately, Deanna basically wrapped her in an octopus more than Jordan's fiance. So I'm just saying. But despite all the adversities that she had to overcome, that's why I put Deanna as my woman of the week. And her stardom is, pun intended, because she also competed in Stardom for a period of time, is really on the rise and on the resurgence. So props to you, Virtuosa, and congrats on being the new Knockouts champion.
Very cool. Yeah, very worthy woman of the week, if you ask me. Did you see that question from Matthew? Can y'all see that?
Yep.
I mean, honestly, they should have brought it back a while ago. I mean, you saw in all. I mean, if you saw Slammiversary in that gauntlet match, you see all the different pairings like Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz, the Killer Death Machines, which is Havoc and Nevaeh. And it's kind of funny Madison Rayne was in the tournament because that Ohio clique in Impact is strong. Because quick fact, Madison Rayne and Nevaeh were the first ever Shimmer Tag Team Champions, winning a gauntlet, defeating veterans Lexi Fife and Malaya Hosaka. So, and the current Guardian of Rise champions of Nevaeh and Jessica Havoc. So seeing that full circle in that ring right there, that is basically worthwhile. And quick fun fact before I get off out of here, Nevaeh is actually the innovator of Ohio is for Killers. Now was once OVE. So if you want to get the brainchild behind that faction, Nevaeh is the one right there. So, but yeah, I think it's time to Impact protect the tag divisions because one, it gives the other women something to do, and two, you don't want to cluster everything all at once. And it also shows that the women's division is going to be fine in Impact, and it's easily one of the most slept on divisions right there. And mind you, this is without Tessa's snooty ass not being there anymore. So that right there just shows that Impact will be fine with their women's division. I mean, you got Deanna leading the pack, and you got all the other women basically following suit, and Tenille doing whatever the fuck Tenille wants during these COVID times.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel the impact to women as world champions will be with the way Tess has acted with her championship?
I think, well, first off, my opinion on that is I think both parties messed up on their respective areas. I mean, first off, the fact that Tessa wouldn't even show up. I understand doing COVID times and being stuck in Mexico with her fiance, can't travel. Totally
Right.
get that. But when you're being obligated to actually send promo pics and video packages just to even hype up the show, even if you're not even going to exist. That alone just shows that, hey, she may be the best in-ring wrestler in the world, but she's sometimes not the smartest. And Impact should have known better in regards of booking someone who doesn't have the right business smarts in regards of trying to get everything in order. So when you're trying to book a top-notch talent to be the best in the world, and it kind of undermines the rest of the women, saying that, hey, only Tessa gets to compete men, but you did not see Jordan Grace's matches in the Indies against multiple men, Matt Riddle being one of them.
Right.
That alone just says it right there.
Cool.
Can't agree more. Awesome, man. Well, again, thanks for dropping knowledge like you only can do in the women's division. And have a good one. We can't wait to see what news is next week.
Yeah, next week's going to be interesting, but we shall see.
Yeah, somebody's trying to type or something. Yeah, we're having issues with my platform here, so I noticed people have been watching. We were up to over 20 viewers at one point, and the comments are coming in very fluid.
Just keep the comments coming. That's the best way to. We love the comments anyway, so just keep typing them in, there, guys.
Yeah, and I wasn't even seeing those either, though. Like that's what you see me pop off and on. I'm working on fixing the stuff behind the scenes. And
all right, man.
So let's move on to before we jump to the next segment. Just want to put it out there. We've mentioned it a few times, and I'm catching you off guard, Brad. Sorry, but my name's on the show, so I guess I can do it. We've always asked if anyone's interested in joining the pit, things like that, and our quick pre-show meeting. We mentioned wanting to have a segment, maybe just solely focused on the Wednesday night wars that are kind of happening right now. If anybody would like to come on and recap NXT and AEW. I know that's a lot to ask with such a short turnaround. We're at 24 hours ago. But if anyone's interested, please message Brad or myself, and we can talk about it. With that being said, we have a Lucha segment. Not much going on in Lucha, but it's kind of an interesting thing how they're running shows down there. So let's bring in Numero Uno. What up, man?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
We're ready
How
to
y'all doing?
live in the dream.
Right.
Nightmares are dreams
So,
too.
I'm gonna start with AAA announced today that they're gonna do a driving show. It wasn't today. They announced it earlier this week. They're gonna do a driving show in Mexico City, in the parking lot of Six Flags. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know how they are gonna run if the Commission of Wrestling in Mexico fined another promotion recently, not for like a month or 2 months ago. They fined them for running a show in Mexico City, even though there was no people and everything was taken care of the way it's supposed to be. So that's going to be interesting to see why one promotion gets a pass and the other doesn't. I'm pretty sure people are gonna, or they're already saying things about it, and I don't blame them, because if you're gonna punish someone for doing something, then somebody else comes and does it too, they should be punished as well.
Agreed.
Or you shouldn't have punished the first promotion in the first place. So that's gonna be interesting to see what comes out of that. Also, due to the success of DTU having their Rancho de Mexico show, which was literally at a ranch outdoors. Due to the success of that show, they scheduled another show that took place last Friday. and it was quite interesting because it was at a water park. The name of the show was A Cielo Libre, which means to the open sky. And they had two rings. One of them was literally inside a pool right there. You can see on the top center of the picture, you can see the second ring. And it was, I guess they based it off of the FMW match with Onita, where they had a ring in the middle of the pool. But this is like a lighter version of it, if you can say it or if you want to compare to it. But it was a pretty interesting show due to the fact of being at a water park and having props like a trampoline and things like that. Obviously, they went and had fun in there, not just straight wrestling. It was a fun show. I would give it like a 3.5 out of 5. But it was interesting to see. It was something different in Mexico, and they've been like different kind of shows. There was at one point in Mexico they had these two different rings. One was like really tall, and the other one was regular size, and supposedly they call it a two-level ring or something along those lines. So Mexico tries to be, creative too with their matches and stuff, and to some things they just give it a twist. And I guess the show was so successful again that they schedule another show for, I want to say, the beginning of August, and it's gonna be another show with no people, just pay per view, but it's gonna be at a bar, pretty much like a no ring type of show. That's what they're aiming for the next show. It's called something Cantina. Let me look up the name. Let's see if I can find it. But I love, in my opinion, it's good to be different. It's good to be do your own thing because no one has done that in Mexico. So for you to do it right now, that there's no one being able to go to shows and you're bringing all these different alternatives, I think it's a good thing to a certain point. Because that's just I'm not too crazy about gimmicks or all that.
Yeah, we're aware.
So the name of the show is gonna be called Cantina Extrema, which by the name of it, it sounds like it's gonna be like a hardcore or dead match extreme show, and it should be something fun. If y'all can, and if you want to watch the show, you can make the payments through PayPal. And I think up to date is the cheapest pay per view I ever bought. It was only $3.23, and that was because I bought it the day of the show. The price was 70 pesos, so $2 was like three and some change. So if I would have bought it before the day of the show, it was 50 pesos, which that would have been like $2.50, $2.60.
It sounds like a lot
So
better
that's
than
that's something to keep an eye on because you want to support those bringing the joy, at these hard times. If you can, you spend
we need it.
$2, $3 in a beer. You spend $3 in unnecessary things. So those $3, go a long way and help out the promotion, help out the wrestlers. So if you can and you want to watch it, you should totally do it. If you need like the link or information about payments, I can pass it to you. So just let me know.
Hit us
And
up.
if you want to watch it somewhere, you can invite me and get me drunk.
There you go.
And we can have a watch party somewhere. So let me know.
We can audition for the Boracho crew.
That's about it for today.
It's hard. First of all, like if you've drank until if you're still standing up, you failed the audition.
Yep.
If you remember the whole audition, you felt
Pretty much. There has to be at least something when you hang out with the Baracho crew that you find out later on and be like, oh, wow.
Said what? I said
Yep.
what? Yeah.
Not everybody can hang with a borracho crew.
Oh man, I wish I
Lone
retired.
Star, if you see this, Lone Star, please sponsor me. I drink a lot of Lone Star. Please sponsor me.
Yeah, well, we had a few calls actually last week for people wanting to sponsor the show, but I don't even know what we would use the money for at this point yet, till we get it a little bit bigger. But
All right, guys.
Just more beer. That's what we'll do. Just any sponsorship money that comes through, we'll buy beer until we have enough to do anything worth fuck with it.
Yeah. I should go get my black.
So if you know anybody looking for someone to represent their brand at wrestling shows, send them my way.
Oh, that's true. When the wife shows up, it's time to go.
All right, man. Well,
just make sure you don't leave before you go have dinner with your friends, because that's kind of rude.
It's really not my fault.
Anyways.
Y'all know y'all gotta hold my hand at shows, especially at the end, because my attention gets wandering and I just disappear. But
awesome, man. Again, like we said,
that's about it. We'll see what happens this week if anything happens in Lucha, so I can bring you some more news for next in the pit.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate you as always, brother. Be safe. Peace. All right, man. Dropping knowledge with our experts as we like to do. Albert chimed in again when you invited to begin with. Still busting your balls about that, but anyway.
I mean, I don't even remember what I called Albert that night. I think it was Robert. But at one point I turned around and was like, yeah, Liz and Robert are the best.
All right. Well, it's that time to really get into the pit. We need to welcome a new guest that we haven't had yet. Been wanting to have since we started this thing months and months ago. But without further ado, let's welcome
what's up?
the man himself.
What's up, you guys? How you guys doing? You guys doing all right?
Doing all right. Let's see what you think of that picture there.
Oh, that's funny. That's one of my favorite pictures, actually. Because I was like, who's this guy? And then I was like, oh. That's pretty funny. And now that was also a fun show. I'm trying to see how to set up my phone here. Here, give me a second. I'm just gonna put it like this. Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Can see me. I don't like that. I'm back to this one. How you guys been? You guys been doing all right?
Doing all right, man.
Doing real good.
Doing the best we can, you know what I mean, with the times that we're in. It's a tough time.
It sucks right now. I haven't wrestled. Well, actually, I wrestled last week, actually. So it's getting a little better. But hopefully we'll get to have live shows soon,
Yeah, we can't wait, man. We're dying to see y'all do what y'all do, man.
I mean, that's a nice shirt as well.
Just saying.
Yeah, I still need to finish shipping those out. But to everybody that hasn't gotten their shirts, you will get your shirt soon, okay? I suck at this. Yeah, I'm a one man team, so I'm a little bit of a mess, I'm always in a hurry. That's my problem. Yeah.
Just got some of your fans saying what's up.
Jennifer, what's up, Jennifer? That's my biggest fan right there.
I would say so, man.
Yeah. Go to her Facebook right now. She has me on her header, on her little background, whatever. Oh, and this guy Julio, that guy.
Yeah, he's a regular in the pit.
How do we block him? How do we block him from this? Can we do that?
Figure that out.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
Yeah.
So Gino, how you been staying busy during quarantine, man?
I was trying to see what that was. Just working out, training. I'm trying to train as much as I can, but it's hard, because of the coronavirus. They actually closed the school down like two weeks ago. They closed the school down because there was a
Oh.
little bit of a scare. Because Houston's really bad right now. There was a little bit of a scare, so I couldn't train for a little bit. But now I'm back to training. I'm actually on the way there right now. I'm gonna go work out and film some stuff, film a promo, and call it a day. I have had a busy day. I've been real busy actually, but I miss wrestling. That's like my passion. So it sucks that I don't get to do that right now.
Once a Gino se cree el muy muy.
Who's that?
That's one that was just in there.
Oh, why he leave though? Why? Well, I don't get why Julio calls me dad. That's weird.
That was kind of weird when we started doing that.
Yeah, who lets him do that? Who lets him
Miss
do that?
Mamacita.
I don't know who lets him on the internet though.
That's the thing, man. Like you got to go to a higher level to get him blocked. I think.
Oh, you're gonna block him?
He's my boy, man. We're stuck with him.
Oh man. When's your show starting back, man?
Man, we're hoping for October, man. We've already tried 3 times. Luckily, it's not baseball, or we'd be out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sucks because it was gonna be your first show. It was gonna be your pinche show.
Puro pinche show. My
Yeah.
pinche show. Yeah,
Yeah,
like coronation. Got those belts. I need somebody to own it, man.
The name of your show, the name of you didn't have to say anything to me. The reason I'm wrestling your show because it was called Puro Pinche Wrestling. I'm like, man, I gotta wrestle for them now.
That's awesome. I did something right then.
Yeah, man. How'd you come up with that?
Well, it's something that we've kind of always. It's like we always say, "Puro pinche this, puro pinche that."
Yeah.
Since I was really young, like probably y'all weren't.
Yeah.
I'm talking like 20 years. Like it was always puro pinche party time, puro pinche prima, puro pinche whatever. You know what I mean? So I was just sitting and I was just trying to think what the name was gonna be, and I'm like, well, I just want it to be something that just shows it's just wrestling. Like that's it. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
PPW has a nice ring to it. I'm all about the
PPW. Yeah.
PPW.
That's pretty nice though. That's a pretty cool. I feel like people have these ideas sometimes, but they don't actually capitalize on them, and you're doing it. So props to you, man. A lot of people don't actually go and do that. So yeah, man, I'm excited for wrestling to come back and for me to be able to work your show.
Yeah, man, we've made all these nice posters for you and everything, and we just haven't been able to execute on them.
I was ready to rip them. Oh no, I gotta be nice.
No, you're too close to Corpus, bro.
Nice. What was that?
You were too close to Corpus. You can't be.
Corporate loves me, so I gotta love them back.
They do.
So
They really do.
everybody else hates me. So I'm like, all right, I'll hate y'all too.
That's interesting, man. Unless you just come up.
I'm the type of person that I treat you the way you treat me. So if you're booing me, I'm gonna have to rip your sign. But if you're cheering for me, I'm gonna take your shares.
Yeah, and there's not many boos in Corpus for you. That's for sure.
There's some haters back there. Like
they sit behind us. Yeah, I know who they. I know who you're talking
about. Who are they? Because I gotta square up with them.
We'll get them on there.
I'm gonna go cough on them when the quarantine's over.
We'll high five them. Go rub your hands on them.
It's funny though. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. I should have shared the story.
Yeah, and like we had said too, if I bring you in as a heel, a lot of my crowd's gonna be from Corpus. They'd be probably pretty pissed if you came.
Yeah, like I said, the way they treat me, that's the way I'm gonna treat them. So whatever it is, it should be a fun show. But yeah, man. I was watching y'all streamer. It looks like y'all were having some fun, especially with Juanito. Why Juanito leave?
Oh, he's here somewhere.
Yeah, he's just watching now. He's the expert for the Lucha segment. We try to do some segments before we have the big interview. We're trying to be official and organized for once. We've been doing this for months, and I think it's the second episode we've actually tried to do organized. So.
Okay. So what y'all got from me? You got some juicy questions?
We got some questions, man.
I got a ton. I want to get right. GCW show that you did earlier this year, because that particularly was one of my favorite shows of the year so far, and one of my favorite matches to watch you when you took on Blake Christian. So you said that was one of the more exciting shows. I just wanted you to elaborate on that.
Yo, I'm not gonna tell you the order, but I've rated the 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 cities in Texas, right? And Austin is like really really high up there because they're so passionate about their wrestling. Houston sucks for wrestling. I hate Houston wrestling. I hate it. But Austin, Corpus and other towns like that, they love their wrestling. Especially Austin. Like when I used to work those Inspire shows, it seemed like they were very like wrestling savvy and whatnot. Like they knew what was going on. They appreciate the little small stuff that we do. So I really appreciate every time that I go to Austin, and they appreciate like the little small stuff that we do in there. Because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't appreciate the wrestlers. They'll be a good wrestler, but they'll go out there and they're just like boom. You know what I mean? But Austin will never do that. Austin is always there. You go, Tony over representing Austin. But yeah, man. That and plus a lot of opportunities open after that show. I got in contact with GCW and whatnot. I was ready to wrestle more shows for them, but coronavirus happened and I can't work those shows anymore. Because the stuff started slowing down. But yeah, man, Blake Christian is like he's super super talented, man. So it was a lot of fun to get in there with him and kind of see where he was at. We're pretty much about the same age, so like it's kind of fun to go in there with somebody that can go. I get in there with a lot of guys, and I'm not like bashing anybody, but I get in there with a lot of guys that can't go. You know what I mean? That as much as I want to go, they can't keep up. And with Blake Christian, didn't feel like that at all. I felt like we were both at the same level, we're just kind of like feeding off each other. So it's fun when you get to go in there with certain guys and then do that. Because you don't get it pretty often.
Yeah. Did you so I don't are you a call it in the ring type of guy, or you talk about the match before the show? Because I'm curious with Blake Christian, because that guy's just spontaneous, and I've always it would be really impossible to build an entire match.
We're breaking kayfabe here. We're breaking kayfabe.
I just want to know, like that. That was one of the
Kayfabe is dead.
Yeah,
It's 2020, bro. No, I'm a little bit of a an in-betweener, I would say, because I was training with Lucha Libre, and Lucha Libre they're just going. It's not that you can't really call anything because you're just going, the whole time. So I know how to do that, but I also was trained by Booker T. So Booker T is very old school, which is like which he used to wrestle like the Ben Walls and Eddie, and all those guys, Christian, Edge, all those guys from that era where they were in there just working, you know what I mean? And I think there's an art to that, and that's one of my favorite type of wrestling where you can go out there and kind of just gauge your crowd and kind of see where they're at, because I feel like there's nothing else like that, you know what I mean? Anybody like a movie, a show, a concert or whatever, they'll go out there and they'll like they have lines and whatnot, they got to do stuff out there, but going out there and be able to call it, I don't think there's anything else like that. Maybe like, like being able to go out there and kind of just improvise and see what the crowd actually wants. To me, that's just so cool that we're able to do that, because a lot of people don't get to do that. So it's just funny, I think maybe I wouldn't say like plays are kind of like that, but I wouldn't say so because they still got lines and whatnot. But I feel like wrestling and being able to go out there and just call it out there, I think it's so much fun because there's a lot of possibilities that you can go out there and do. There's a lot of wrestlers too that they'll have matches and they'll go out there and like the crowd won't react to them at all. They'll just go wrestle and the crowd be like, okay, we don't want this, and they'll go to the back and they'll be like, oh, that crowd sucked. The crowd doesn't suck. You suck.
Right.
Like you only suck during your match? Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah, because you should be, as a performer and as a wrestler, you should be able to go out there and improvise and be able to be like, okay, the crowd wants this, I'm gonna give that to them. But that also comes with a lot of experience and being able to go out there and like be relaxed and be very calm in there. And I naturally have a very relaxed personality. I'm like very like laid back. So helps me a lot when I'm out there. I never really freak out there. Plus, I've been doing this since I was like 14, so I got a little bit of experience in that.
Do you ever get any goosebumps working with newer guys? Because I know in Texas you guys work together a lot, but Blake Christian was probably somebody you hadn't worked with before.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because like how I said, it was just fun that I get to go out there and I don't have to worry about the other guy. It's just we're just going, and he's just keeping up with me and whatnot. It's definitely a lot of fun, to like the past the last year or so. I got to like travel a lot more and like go here and go to GCW, go to MLW, different type of spots. Going to Chicago, I had a bunch of dates in Chicago that didn't happen because coronavirus. But it's always fun to go out there and kind of just having someone else to dance with.
Right.
I bet.
Yeah, and it's just a different experience because a lot of people are like very different. A lot of people are trained different and whatnot. So it's just fun going out there and like learning different stuff. Because like you can always learn from like going out there and like being able to wrestle different people. Like I said, I was trained by Booker, but I'm not saying that was the correct way. There's no correct way of doing wrestling. It's such an art form that there's so many different ways that you can do it. So it's fun going out there and be able to work with different guys that work a little bit different.
Nice.
But yeah,
This time in there. We saw this question. I kind of wanted, not really a question, but a statement I wanted to go back to. Low key, I think a prime Kurt Angle and Gino would be fire. So like looking back, like if you could, fantasy booking, like who would you dream to like be your dream match? I know you've been asked that probably a million times.
yeah. So I have two. Wait, let me see. Man, like, I'm trying to. Can I give you like five? I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
five. Okay.
Man, we can give us 10. It's the pit.
So number one would be my dad. I would have loved to got in there and like got to wrestle my dad. Number two, because he's my favorite wrestler, Edge. I love Edge. Hopefully one day we get to
Good
wrestle,
time
but
on
I don't
that
know.
one.
Yeah. So I don't know that would ever happen, but I'm hoping for it. Number three, Eddie Guerrero. I'm gonna go with Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, just because I've had a problem with being not a problem, but it kind of bothers me a little bit. But everybody thinks that my favorite wrestler is Eddie Guerrero because I'm Mexican.
Like obviously,
Yeah. They're like, oh look, a Mexican, he probably likes Eddie Guerrero, or like,
yeah.
oh look, a Mexican, he's probably trying to be like Eddie Guerrero. I'm like, no, like he's
Yeah.
just like even if Eddie Guerrero wasn't Mexican, I would still love him, because he was such a good performer. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, that would be another one, Eddie. Because he was just so great that I don't think anybody else can perform the way he used to perform. So that's my number third, right?
Yeah.
Number four will be people feel a little indifferent about this guy, but Chris Benoit, I used to love Chris
That'd be a
Benoit,
great match.
but I know the ending of his career wasn't too great, but I respect him as a performer. I would say,
Yeah, in the
but
ring.
yeah,
Talking about the
yeah,
ring.
yeah, and I've learned a lot, just talking to Booker T and like him breaking down matches he had with him and whatnot. Being able to do that and hearing what he had to say about him, kind of makes me respect him a lot more. Um, and let me see, number four. I mean, number five will be probably like a current one that I feel like that could really happen. Will be Pete Dunne. I would love to wrestle Pete Dunne.
That's
It's
really,
very very random, but I would love to wrestle Pete Dunne.
he's great too.
Just yeah. He's probably like one of my favorite guys to watch right now, because he's just so. I don't know. I'm very big on like the low details of wrestling. I like just I don't know. I like to feel something. I don't care about any moves, but I like to like feel something. Because that's what wrestling is about. It's about
Yeah.
emotion and whatnot. And I feel like he makes me believe what he's doing. I believe every little thing that he does out there,
Yeah.
and that's why I just love watching him. I'm like, okay, this guy can wrestle and he can actually get you invested in what he's doing. So that's great for me.
On that note, just to I'm kind of probably gonna put you over even more if that's possible. But I am talking about how getting people emotionally involved. I took my brother to a show where at GCWA. You'll remember it. It was not even over a year ago when you worked the knee injury. Marvel worked you over, and you got
yeah.
his girlfriend literally cried because she didn't understand why he was hurting you so bad. Like she was in tears because she didn't know, like, you know what I mean? Like y'all had her so emotionally invested. Like you were like you were and consoled her. Everything was gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
The things like that, and then of course, which that led to the culmination of that storyline at so far, which was like one of the best GCWA moments ever, I think. Was
when I took the mask off.
when you won the battle royal and then became the
yeah.
WWE champion. Like that moment, we had to play your song 3 times for you to finish taking pictures with everybody.
I remember that.
Yeah.
They stopped playing it at some point. I was like, nah, man, keep playing it. I
Yeah, you
love
had
this
to tell
song.
So anyway,
Yeah, man, I feel like that's what it's all about. You know, like I keep bringing up Booker, but you know he's been my mentor towards all this. And like he always talks to us about, you know, somebody's not gonna go, hey, you remember that move that guy did after a show? They're gonna be like, hey, you remember that move that guy did? Some might, but they're gonna be like, you remember that move that guy did? You know, I want people to be like, hey, you I wonder if Gino's okay, you know, or like, hey, you know, I just want them to like go home and like feel something, you know. I don't want them to like talk about what move I did or like, oh, this cool transition this guy did. I want to go out there and be like, man, Gino, man, I felt something when Gino was there, you know, and that's just what I try to focus on, you know, because I'm such a fan of wrestling that's what like gets me invested, you know, that's why I'm such a fan of Edge as well, because as a kid, that guy used to get me so invested in there, you know, I would always feel something when I was watching him, you know,
yeah.
especially because he was such a hole. I don't think I can say that word, but but yeah.
You can say it. We're good.
I'm gonna bleep myself out, but yeah,
All
man.
good.
Uh, that and like just the spear alone, like he probably didn't have the best spear, but you know the whole like him going to the corner and like going out there and just him looking insane. Yeah, there you go, and him just looking insane before doing that spear. That's what got me. You know, I didn't care about the spear. The spear probably sucked, but you know, him just doing that was like, okay, this is legit. You know.
Yeah.
And it's my boy Diego over there. Shout out to Diego de la Cruz.
What up, Diego? Welcome to the pit. Yeah, Edge is one of my top 5. Like I have I can't show it because I don't know how to work the cameras here. But I have an autograph Edge picture like right above my, and it's like I have my autograph wall and then I have Edge. Like you know what I mean? Like he's like, yeah, so it's awesome.
Hey man, he deserves that spot. I was there when he came back to at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And I like freaked out. I was like, oh, like he's back, like what? Because then there was like rumors or whatever. And
Sure.
I remember I was grabbing a beer, right?
Yeah.
And as I was grabbing the beer, I was paying for it, and I wasn't even paying attention. I was like, this Royal Rumble's gonna be like long. And as I'm doing that, I just hear you think you know me, and I'm just like, what? Like, I totally freaked out. I was like, man, yeah, this is legit that he got to come back, you know. And it's just cool, you know, him getting a second chance, you know, because I'm sure he didn't want to like go out the way he did, which it wasn't too bad, you know. He went out of WrestleMania, but I'm pretty sure he wants to be in control when he does get to retire. So, plus his kids get to watch him.
Yeah, he's earned that right. That's probably like one of my last true pops that I've had in anything WWE in a while. That's when he came out of the Rumble. Like,
yeah, man. Yeah, the whole crowd went insane. You know, I'm sure like even people that weren't that big of a fans, they just went insane. Everybody was going crazy.
I think that's the cool thing about Edge is like that heel that transcends time. Most heels in our reality disappear, and we don't really remember them for a long time. Edge in the prime of his heel career had to go out, and then coming back, everybody's like, "Fuck it, welcome back." You know, that's the talent. I think that's the way that everybody really wants to be remembered at the end of the day.
No, yeah, for sure, man. And like, you can just tell how much he like loves it, and I feel like that's what like kind of translates to us as
Right.
fans, and that that are fans of the wrestling business, is that you can just tell this guy like loves wrestling. Uh, when he came out there, there was like probably like 5 seconds where you can tell where he just kind of took it all in,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, yeah, and I was like, yeah, like, that's what it's all about, because a lot of guys go out there and they're just so worried about like the wrestling and doing this and doing that. But a lot of people don't have fun out there, and you gotta have fun out there. You gotta be able to like, take in those moments and kind of appreciate them and cherish them, because you don't know when you're not gonna be able to wrestle anymore. Right now, a lot of people haven't been able to wrestle anymore. I don't know if those people enjoy their last match. So that's, to me, that's what it's all about. I enjoyed my last match. I don't even remember my last match, but I know I enjoyed it, because every time I'm out there, every time I'm out there, I'm just enjoying what I do.
Yep. And it shows, man. Like it really does.
But I think that's the thing too, as a fan. Like, one of the answers I always give is like about why I like certain people, heel or babyface. It has a lot to do with, you can tell when someone genuinely cares about the business or when someone's just phoning it in and BSing you for whatever reason. And I think that Edge is one of those talents that you could tell, because I agree. For a split second, Edge was as shocked as we were that he was back. You could see it in his face. In that moment, we were all fans, of Edge's return, including him. So
Yeah, and like we're saying, like, it's just that passion. You can't fake passion. You can fake everything else, but you cannot fake passion, man. Not at all. I was watching this interview. Uh, it was what was it? I just know Daniel Bryan and CM Punk were on there, right? And they were talking. They were talking. Punk and Bryan are also like some of my favorites. So I was just listening to him talk or whatever, and Brian was like, he's like, I just want my daughter to be as passionate, to find her passion the way that I feel about wrestling, and that kind of just stuck to me. I was like, hell yeah, like to me, that's what I want for everybody else, because I know I found my passion when I was just like a 4 year old, but sometimes it takes people to their whole lifetime to, find that passion, so like I said, I just hope everybody finds that passion and kind of just uh, sees it's something that pushes them, and to kind of like something that drives them, every day, for them to like go out there and like do what they got to do, to go find that passion and follow that passion that they got going on, and I'm very thankful that as a kid, my dad took me to a wrestling show and I found my passion.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
So we've talked about MLW for a bit, and I'm really interested to hear your perspective, like your side of that story. Like, how did MLW come about for you?
Um. Honestly, I don't know. It was very random. But right. I feel like I just had like enough people like kind of vouching for me and whatnot. Just because so kind of a little like sidetrack or whatever. Uh, Bruce Pritchard used to kind of be around here well, he lives in Houston, and he used to help out a lot with reality wrestling here. Booker T's promotions out here, and he used to help out a lot. And then for some reason, he kind of just took a liking to me. He kind of like would talk to me a lot after matches, and like give me critiques and tell me this and tell me that, and like I feel like we kind of like bonded over that, over wrestling or whatever. And like after that, I just felt like he became a big fan of mine, and by doing that, he's always like pushed for me, to kind of like go places. Like, hey, there was even an article a while back about like WWE and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool for him to actually go out there and say that. And I feel like I think he used to work at MLW, so I'm sure he probably said something about me and was like, "Hey, you guys, maybe there's this guy Gino, that." And also apparently like a lot of fans were like hitting up MLW, and they were like, "Hey, you guys should sign Gino. You guys should sign Gino and whatnot." Because of actually the first email they ever sent me, they were like, "Hey, are you Gino?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "Oh well," and they were like, "Hey, they a lot of fans have been like, talking about you. You know, we're just trying to get in contact with you." And I was like, oh, "Okay, this is random, but it's pretty cool." But it was kind of funny though because Core Bauer messaged me on Core Bauer is the owner of MLW. He messaged me on Twitter actually, and he was like, "Hey kid, you should check your emails." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I go check my emails, and yeah, there's like all these like missed emails that I like totally didn't check, and then like one of them was from MLW, and they're like, "Hey," they just started contacting me, and I started talking to them and whatnot, and I was like, "Well, I should check this out like last week." But yeah, it's just so random. But it's also funny how like life works though, because like everything's so random. You know, there's a lot of wrestlers out there that are they're like, "Oh, I want to get signed. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that." But I feel like if you focus on your craft enough and you constantly work on it, work on it, I feel like stuff just happens. You know, stuff comes to you. You know, because you know you're busting your ass.
Right.
So as long as you're staying ready and you're staying focused, you know, working on your craft, stuff will just happen. You don't have to worry about it. You know, and I know that's easier said than done, but I just feel like that's always worked for me. You know, I've always tried to bust my ass, you know, harder than anybody else around me. So I think this is what helped me out, and I'm pretty sure that's what helped me out with MLW. You know, because like I said, I never had to like contact them at all, and they just contacted me, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
And they brought you in hot too, because they brought you in and put you right into the dynasty as well, right?
Yep, yeah, I was surprised for that too. They brought me in with Selena Renta, which well, never mind. Conan,
Yeah.
Conan, and they brought me in with Dynasty. You know, MJF, Hammerstone, the Holiday, and I just thought that was pretty cool. You know, we're in New York City, and I'm in the ring, and I look to my right, and Conan's right there. I look to my left, so you know, Renta was right there. I look straight forward, and like MJF is like cutting a promo on me, and I'm just like, how did I get this? You know, it was just like so random, you know.
Is this real world?
Yeah, it was just so cool seeing, you know, especially growing up watching Lucha, you know, AAA, you know, being at all the shows with my dad, seeing Conan, I was like, oh, this is so cool, like, you know, Conan's here. But yeah, man, you know, just wrestling is crazy. So is he over here hating?
Yeah,
I
Planet
thought we
House.
blocked him, man.
I know,
I thought we
man.
blocked
It's like
him.
a STD or something, man. He just keeps popping up when you least expect it.
He like so this guy swears he hates me, right? But low key, I think he just like loves me, man. Because every platform, every social media platform, he's just always commenting, liking, you know, hating, you know, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's over here sharing like old memories with me. I'm just
yeah,
like, man, you want some merch? What's going on? Like,
yeah. And he
I
wants you to
just
stop him. The mark. I mean, he likes
yeah,
that
he loves to get chopped by me. You know, he like sells it the
stuff.
most.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think that guy secretly like just loves Gino.
I guess there's worse things. Um, so we got Juan wants to come back and ask you a question.
Oh.
All right, where's Juan at?
I'm bringing him back in here in a second. He's ready.
Okay. Where you at, Juan?
Yo, what's up, Gino?
Yo, what's up, my dude?
Just here chilling.
I like your gauges. You got cool gauges.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was wanting to, but you know, I never got them.
Get him.
I don't
Right
know
now
if
is
I
your
should get them
chance.
now. What was
Since
that?
there's no wrestling, right now is your perfect time to get him.
Why is Nasty calling here? You should block him too. Oh, boy. I will get them, but I feel like they're hurt. They sound like they're
Yeah,
hurt. They look
I
like
don't
they're
think I
hurt.
would ever do it. I can't even do earrings. Hard pass. Even though I mean I do stuff.
Yeah, same with tattoos. I don't have any tattoos, but I think they're cool, really cool. But I just never got any. Yeah. So what's up? What's up, bro? What's up, Juan? What you got for me?
What's up? So, I think I got like two questions.
Okay.
So, what does this mask means to you? Not this one, but like the gimmick.
Put it on.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
So for those that don't know, that's my dad's mask. When he was Mascara Maligna. But that mask means a lot to me because I saw he used to he used to work for AAA and whatnot, and he got a lot of gimmicks. He probably like 6 or 7 different gimmicks in AAA. They just instead of switching gimmicks, they just switch your whole character, like mask and stuff. Uh, but yeah, that was one of the last gimmicks he ever did. Like this one of the last characters he ever like portrayed. So it was pretty cool, like to see him as Mascara Maligna out there and just seeing the whole mask and the whole get up and the cape and all this. Seeing him wrestle Mascara Sagrada and like Octagon and Pentagon and whatnot. I was just very cool seeing them do that and whatnot. But yeah, man, that's one of my favorite masks that he had too. It's like a beautiful mask. And a lot of people don't know. He was actually Mascara Sagrada for a while. But because over there, when guys get hurt, it's really easy to like just switch. Like this is a whole like whole
Yeah.
like mask and like whole thing. It's really easy for them to just switch the guy. So for a while, my dad was Mascara Sagrada. So I feel like there was a little bit of backstory there where it was like, oh, so I can't be Mascara Sagrada anymore. I'm gonna be Mascara Maligna, which is kind of just like the opposite of Mascara Sagrada. That and plus that was one of the, that that was one of the last matches that I watched of him, like him as Mascara Maligna, and he lost it in Monterrey actually. In Triple A is weird. They had a they had a steel cage. Oh, I don't even know how to explain this match,
It
but
was it
basically
was a four-way with Máscara Sagrada and Octagon and Pentagon, if I'm not mistaken.
that's not where he lost it though. Somebody else lost it in that. Who lost it? Pentagon lost it in that one. My dad lost it in a steel cage match in Monterrey. But it was a cage match. But every 2 minutes there would be electricity on the on the cage.
Oh yeah, the
So
electrified match.
yeah, yeah. So every time you would try to climb it, apparently it would shock you, which is like it was crazy.
Wow.
I'm I'm surprised they haven't brought that to America. I think TNA did it once, but I'm not too sure. But somebody else should do that. Puro Pincha Wrestling should bring that. Bring that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get on there, bro. I volunteer myself.
There you go. Because you're right. Yeah. I remember that. It's
I'll
documented.
wrestle. I'll wrestle Nasico.
Now we're gonna have to make it happen now.
Yeah, or Julio. Or I'll wrestle both of them handicap match.
There you go. There you go. Now, we would enjoy that. I don't know.
What does it mean to you to be the son of such a star like your dad? Like you're doing things your way. Obviously, you didn't follow with the Mascara Maligna gimmick. You didn't keep with it. You're doing your own thing, your own persona. But what does it mean to you?
uh, so uh, so it's funny because the guy that trained me, I feel like I need some light here, right? Is that better? Hey, can you see me
You're
now?
in the pit,
So
brother.
I'm like, I was on the way to the gym, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so it's funny that you asked that because the guy that trained me, my original lucha libre trainer, he was my dad's friend, so they both kind of trained together. His name was Monje Negro, and this guy, he basically, I think he was a little harder on me than he was with everybody else, because he knew my dad, and he always actually like he would kind of push me to be like, hey, you're his son, like you got to work harder. You're his son, you got to work harder, or you're just tired. You know who your dad is, or you're throwing up, who your dad is, and that was just push me, because he was always there, kind of forcing me to, kind of work harder and whatnot. That and plus, uh, I feel like he trained me correctly. I feel like a lot of man, I just sound like a hater now, but a lot of Houston guys, a lot of Houston luchadores, they never get properly trained, bro. A lot of them just train for like 2 months and they just go out there and wrestle. My trainer, Monje Negro, he made sure that I was properly trained. He made sure that I was that I knew my way around the ring and whatnot. That I knew that I respected the business, that I respected the mask that I was going to be wearing, and that I respected my dad's legacy. So that was pretty cool that he taught me those type of things. And this guy, he was probably like 50 when he was training me, but I never saw this guy tire at all. This guy was constantly going and like I'm sure you know his son, right? El hijo de Montenegro, you know him, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was actually him and I that would train with his dad, and his dad would always just kill us, man, every time. And that kind of inspired me to kind of train the way that I do now. But yeah, man. So after that, after being trained and whatnot, kind of going back on like what it means to me, my dad being Máscara Maligna, Sanguinario and whatnot. Uh, so a lot of luchadores. I don't know why I said it like that. A lot of luchadores. They
Más
uh,
put.
yeah, right. A lot of luchadores. uh, but yeah, a lot of luchadores they were harder with me. They were like a lot more tough with me. They were a lot more aggressive with me because I feel like a lot of them were testing me. They were like, "Oh, you're a Sanguinario's dad? Okay, I'm gonna have to test you in the ring." So as a 15, 16, 17-year-old, I was getting my ass beat by these grown ass guys. Every weekend they were chopping me. Every weekend they were hitting me with like chairs. I went through a flaming table one time. They were all like, yeah, they were all just tough with me, man. They made me not that I didn't respect it, but it made me appreciate the business. Kind of like being able to grow up on it and kind of just respect it as a whole, respecting the whole lucha libre and respecting just pro wrestling. Uh, so it was definitely hard, coming up because anybody else would have been like, oh man, these guys are beating my ass for real, like fuck that, But to me, it was kind of like, hey, I gotta like show these guys that can I cuss in here?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I gotta show these guys I'm no bitch. So that was always my thing. I was like, man, like this hurts a lot. Like legit. Like one time I even broke my toe. They didn't break it, but this match was so intense that I like broke my toe. I went to high school the next day and I couldn't even walk. But I'm like, man, like these guys probably want me to quit. They want me to, kind of stop doing this and like show me how tough this really is. So like I said, it always pushed me to like kind of kind of follow my dad's legacy and kind of like being able to, kind of keep it going and show them, how much I do respect wrestling and how much I do respect my dad's mask and his name, and on the whole, like not following his footsteps. Um, I feel like there's a lot of second generation guys that try to do that. They try to, feed off their dad's name and whatnot. I don't think I ever wanted to do that just because like, um, I don't know. I'm very weird. I like working from the bottom. Like I like to be able to work for what I got. So I feel like if I was like, hey, look at me, I'm second generation and el hijo de sanguinario and all this, I feel like I would have gotten a lot of stuff a lot easier. But for me, I was like, nah, I want to bust my ass. Like I want to like do this. I want to get my ass beat by these luchadores. I want to like go out there and like prove who I am, not just the son of a Sanguinario, but Gino, and, and I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job at it. So, you know, uh, just trying out here.
It's kind of funny because how in the lucha culture they'll just do like hijo de whatever, el junior, second, third, whatever, and then I know back then in Lucha VIP was a thing in Houston. It was like the main promotion. That's where they started booking you as Mascara Maligna Junior, right? So I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, that I was like when I heard that I knew about Mascara Sagradas Junior because he has like two or three, and then I'm like, hijo de Mascara Maligna. I'm like never heard of him. I'm like, this must be just another lucha thing that they always do. They just throw a name into
No,
someone,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I didn't find out that it was you until like just a few, like 2 years ago, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, man.
I
They,
will always see you at the at the Lucha VIP, they were booking you as the Mascara Maligna Junior, and I was like, I'm like, I don't, probably just another guy.
No, yeah. And the thing is, like a lot of like probably like a year ago maybe, somebody came up like randomly on like a random show in Mexico, and he was El Hijo de Mas, no, not El Hijo, he was Máscara Maligna Junior, and I was like, who's this guy? uh, but they do that a lot in Mexico. They just like random guys would just grab somebody's name like, hey, I'm this guy now, and yeah, which sucks is like anybody I can be like, hey guys, I'm Brian Pillman Jr. over here, you know. It's weird. It's so random, but it's weird that a lot of them do that. Uh, but Julio's always here just saying random stuff. But yeah, man, it was actually a promoter's idea. They were like, hey, have you ever thought about being you using your dad's gimmick, a Máscara Maligna? And I was like a little weird about it. I was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. Like I said, I always wanted to like kind of make my own like legacy and whatnot. Uh, but he was like, come on, man, like I think you can do it. Like I think you got the talent enough to like go out there and like deliver with it. I did it for a little bit, and I did it probably for like maybe like 6 months, but I just wasn't me. I was like I said, I like to go out there and be as authentic that as I can be, kind of make that connection with the crowd. And me being Mascara Molina just wasn't me, that wasn't who I am. So I was like, you know what, I can't do this. That's when I was like, I'm gonna go, straight into, being Gino, because at the time I was still Gino, and then I was Mascara Maligna, El Hijo de Mascara Maligna. So at that point, I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna go straight into just being Gino, and like ever since, stuff's been working out. So, you know,
Looks like the right choice.
Yep,
yeah,
for
of
sure.
course, yeah, man. And I appreciate you though. Like, I appreciate you, like, kind of appreciating. I appreciate you appreciating my dad. Because that's always what I've tried to do. Like, I always wanted to like keep his legacy alive. You know, and seeing fans like you that still remember him, seeing guys like you that appreciate his mask, and his legacy and all the stuff that he did. You knowing his matches. Pulling up that Máscara Maligna, Máscara Sagrada match, uh, just kind of means a lot to me. It means, kind of lets me know that I'm doing something right by, keeping his legacy alive. And kind of like just like random MLW fans will hit me up now and be like, "Hey, who's your dad?" And then I'll tell them like, "Oh no way! Like I watched his matches like back in the day." Talking to Conan and Conan being like, "Hey, who's your dad again?" And then me telling him, "Oh, I was in the faction with him with Eddie Guerrero and Love Machine." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And like stuff like that is just so cool.
Nice.
Anything else, brother?
Am I like lagging on this, or is it
No, I think you're good, man.
Sometimes we talk over each other, Gino. We're trying to make sure that we're not railroading one another, so we're just giving it that break to come in.
Yeah, just
Oh
making
no,
sure.
you're fine. Oh no, you're fine. I thought it was my phone. I thought it was because I was on my phone. I was like, oh, it's probably because I'm on my phone over here.
Pinche
I'm touching
cricket.
my I'm touching my I'm touching my hair so Nasico gets, man.
There you
Nice.
go.
Damn,
Always making him mad.
Nasico.
Yeah,
John?
that's what you got, one?
That's it.
All right, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Take
Oh, we're back.
We're back to just the three of us. Before I was
Three
gonna say,
men.
we end our interviews. I say usually we've only done it once. This will be the second time with what we call a go home. So we're gonna like alternate rapid questions, give you like 5 seconds to answer. Before we get to that though, real quick, where did the name Gino come from? Because I know that's not your name.
So, do you guys remember Gino Hernandez?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So, he was very big in the Houston, area.
Well,
Like, back in the day, probably like what, like the 80s, 90s. I'm not too sure.
80s,
Uh,
80s.
yeah. So, Bruce Pritchard and Booker were like big fans of him. Like a lot of people were.
It's so great.
Uh, yeah, especially Booker. Booker like loved him. So, when I took my mask off, where I used to be my wrestling name used to be Thunderjet, right?
Mhm.
And that name came from my dad because when he debuted, his name was Thunderjet. So it was kind of cool that I got to like follow that. Oh man, I'll turn the wrong light off. There you go. So it was kind of cool that I got to follow that legacy of his. But yeah, when I had to drop the mask, uh, I just couldn't come up with anything. I was like, man, like, what can my name be? For a second, I was like TJ something, TJ Medina or something like that, and I was like, this is weird. This is just a weird like name. So yeah, for a while we were just kind of complimenting on what we wanted to do and whatnot. So eventually, Booker was like, you know what? You gonna be Gino, I kid.
That's
And
awesome.
I was like, all right, Book, whatever you say.
All right,
Uh,
what are you gonna do?
yeah, and at that point, I wasn't too sure why he was naming me that. And then I started talking to him on one day. He's like, yeah, like back in the day, Gino Hernandez. And I was like, okay, yeah. And
Oh, yeah.
I do a really good booker, by the way.
Yeah,
But
that sounds really good.
uh, but yeah, he was basically like, yeah, like Gino Hernandez was like huge here, and like
So,
we're trying to come up with something for you, so let's go with Gino. And like I looked it up, and there was not a lot of Genos, around. So I was like, you know what, let's go with Gino. So and I kind of feel like at first I wasn't too sure, but it kind of just stuck. I was like, man, I'm gonna be Gino. Hell yeah,
that's
Nice.
awesome. He was the
yeah.
first heel I ever enjoyed and felt like it was okay to like. I was in my, I mean, I was a young child, but it's like he was the bad guy that I still liked because he was just a badass.
Oh, so you watched him a lot then?
Oh yeah, I'm old. I've been watching
Nah.
wrestling for 39 years. Yeah,
Oh, really? Hell
yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
Gino was. Yeah,
I appreciate fans like you though that are just like heavy into it and whatnot. But yeah, I now that like before I wasn't like too like familiar with his work, but now that I've when he gave me the name on that and whatnot, I went straight into it and I was like, okay, I gotta find out more about this guy. And he was just great, man. I
oh,
feel like he could have been as big as Ric Flair, honestly.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, like,
absolutely.
but yeah, it sucks that he died so young.
Yeah.
But I do feel like his promos, his work in there, phenomenal.
So
And
good.
yeah, I just wish he got to wrestle some more and like he'll stay around. But stuff happens. But
Yeah,
hopefully I can make his name proud.
yeah. I always wondered if that's where it was from, but I just wanted to, I'd ask.
No, yeah, I appreciate it because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know the all right, kid, you're gonna be Gino now. And I was like, all right, book.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Brad, you ready to do the go home segment with El Intocable himself, Gino?
I'm ready. So just a re-explanation. We're each going to ask you 10 questions. We're going to rotate back and forth. They're mostly yes or no, this or that style questions. But if there's one of them, you get 5 seconds to answer each one. It's the real deal.
Okay, this is
So,
exciting.
whenever you're ready, since you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and start. If you were to join a football team and your favorite jersey number was taken, what would your second choice be?
15.
All right.
What's number one on your bucket list?
Skydiving.
Nice.
Xbox or PS4?
PS4.
Hell yeah.
What's your favorite fast food?
What's my favorite? What?
Fast food.
Fast food. Whataburger.
Nice.
Is Bigfoot real?
Yes.
Hey.
Are crinkle cut fries the best kind of fry?
Pickle fries? No.
Crinkle cut.
Oh, curly fries. Yes. I thought you said pickle fries. I was like, I guess no.
Crinkle.
No.
Crinkle cut. Zigzag.
No.
No.
What bowling pin would you say is the hardest one to knock down?
Oh wait, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
What bowling pin would you say is the hardest one to knock down?
Huh. Oh man. I don't know. Man, this is a hard question, man, because I'm not even too sure. Honestly, I don't know. Pass.
Okay, fair enough.
Best TV show of all time.
The Office.
Nice.
Coffee or
Yeah.
Red Bull?
Red Bull.
Okay.
NXT or AEW?
Oh man. I'm gonna go with NXT.
Wow. If Wayne from Wayne's World, Austin Powers, and Shrek all got in a fight, who would Mike Myers root for to win?
Shrek.
All right.
The question that just because we kind of mentioned it before, Eddie or Ray? I already know the answer.
Eddie.
How many licks do you think it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Oh man, 21.
Okay.
What movie changed your life?
What movie? I don't know.
In any
I
way?
always watch Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire.
There you go.
What
Oh, that
subject did your favorite teacher in school teach?
Let me see. English.
Okay.
What skill do you wish you had?
Man. Wow, that's a good one. Probably that I knew another language.
Cool.
It'll be 3 languages over here.
There you go.
Who do you think enjoys water slides more, L.A. Park or Dr. Wagner Jr.?
Oh wait, repeat that. Who enjoys what?
Who do you think enjoys water slides more, L.A. Park or Dr. Wagner Jr.?
LA Park.
All right, that's what I thought too.
If you had a garden, what would you grow?
Oh man, I was gonna say something.
You were in the pit, brother. Say it.
I can't, bro. Tomatoes. Let's go with tomatoes.
You said enough.
All right, Gino, my last question is that I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 100. What is it?
37.
23. Really close, though.
Okay.
And my final question, that's always my final question, does pineapple go on pizza?
Yes.
Hell yeah. That's
All right.
perfect.
Good way to end it.
Just so we're clear, that's 2 yeses for pineapple on pizza in the official In the Pit. It's multiple yeses since the beginning that we've done it. Y'all can all shut the fuck up now about pineapple not going on pizza.
I need to find out more.
It's funny though because I feel like that only became a thing because of the internet and those memes. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like if not, a lot of people will love it. But you know, people are like, "Oh no, I saw a meme about that." But I don't know. I've always enjoyed it.
I agree. I ate it when I was a kid. I never heard a word about it until Facebook came around.
Same here, bro. I was probably like, what was that?
That's whose side y'all are on now.
Nah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not.
He said about time y'all agreed on something.
Man. Right. He's all right. He's all right sometimes. Tell him to bring me pineapple pizza to the next GCW show. No, GCWA show. I messed that up.
Yeah, that's the difference. GCWA.
Yeah, right. It's a mouthful. You know, GCWA. One time I was cutting a promo. You guys were maybe you probably there, Josh. But I was cutting a promo. And I was like, yeah, like that's why I want the GCW reality of, and I was like, what am I saying? And, yeah.
You let you, but they love you there, so you got to wait with it.
Yeah, I had to fix it real quick. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys having me on and asking me those questions. They got me all excited.
Man, we thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man,
Nice
appreciate
to
you
have
guys,
you,
man. Yeah, man. Hopefully, you guys have me back. All right.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Be safe.
Right, man. Thank you. You guys too.
Later.
Man,
So,
what you think about that?
I loved it. I think Gino had a good flow. Not gonna lie, I was real nervous about interviewing Gino. So I watched a couple of interviews on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Gino's talkative. That's great."
Yep.
We've had some guests that we really had to pry some shit out of them, and I've just I have this list of it's literally 100 questions just because one time we did an interview and someone was like, "Yeah, that was my favorite match. I like that guy," and I was like, "Oh fuck, man."
Yeah, we've been with this new format. We're 2 for 2, man. So I think we're doing pretty good. These
I
guys,
agree.
they made our job a lot easier.
Agreed.
But yeah, I think it was great. I mean, like I said, I've been knowing and talking to this guy for a year and a half or two, pretty regularly. So I have good hopes for it.
And we have Moonshine on next week. For those of y'all that didn't hear us at the beginning, Moonshine Mantell will join us next week. Just to reiterate Josh's point, we were talking and kind of wanting to work in a segment where we talk about the Wednesday night wars each week, since Thursday will be so close to that night and it'll be a hot topic. So if anybody has any interest in possibly coming on and talking about that quickly, we'd love to hear from you guys. We love the content. Any way we can include you guys is a big help for us. We're always thinking of new things. I also would personally love to hear what y'all think of our Go Home segment. It's something new that Josh and I are trying, and we're having a blast with it. It was nice to see the talent having a blast with it. So that's my piece. That's my send-off piece.
That's all we got to say about that then. I guess we're seeing everybody's chiming in a little bit before we always shut off, and then there's like 5 more comments afterwards.
Yeah.
And speaking of, now that I cussed, it was kind of funny how Gino originally was scared to say a-hole, but then he like said fuck like 3 times without even thinking about it, and then asked if it was okay, and then said bitch.
I was trying to figure out if we should do if we should try to like work wrestlers, and like the first time everybody cusses, be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll make it a deal. But yeah, it's we need to tell some stuff to people, because everybody keeps asking us this, if they can cuss. And I feel like if I'm going to be on the show, then they need to know that it's going to happen so they can do it too.
Yeah. When I upload this and format it on YouTube, I always put that it's not for kids. So that's all. That's the only bridge we got to cover. So we're good.
Just so we're clear, Gino did push for that electrified steel cage match, and I won't let you back down from that. For those of y'all that don't know, I gave Josh a lot of ideas about the first couple PPW shows, and Josh had to remind me that I had to chill out on some of them. But now that the electrified steel cage match, I'm with Gino. I'll put up some dough to make it happen. I'll help you. I'll sponsor it. Put my name up there. I don't care. But yeah, that'll be one I look forward to, Josh. Maybe not the first PPW.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not the first one.
We got to work it in there at some point.
And then of course Tony, he wants to go through a flaming tables. I mean, there's a long list of requests I'm going to get to.
You know, funny side story. I've heard a lot of people say that flaming tables would rank higher than a lot of deathmatch weapons, because a lot of deathmatch stuff is like a lot of show and lights. But flaming tables, it's not much, and it'll burn the shit out of you. Ricky Starks is a good example. The broom. So.
Yeah. Vicious. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for watching. It looked like we had a pretty solid, steady flow of viewers. We'll see if we beat last week. I challenged Gino, because Kiefer's episode last week, we went over 350 views, which is pretty cool total. So we'll see how it went. And spread the word, like, share, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody that you don't even know, just yell at them to get in the fucking pit.
Come on in. We're ready for you.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
Later.
Later.